sorry. Okay.
We gave Robert too much power.
Okay, it might be. I'm gonna go on YouTube just to double check. All right, we are live, and welcome to.
Oh, we're like live.
We are live because I had to make sure everything was working because changing all the settings from what Robert usually uses versus what we use, it throws a whole wrench into it. But hello, everyone. If the audio, for whatever reason, is not working at some point, please let me know. I'll get it fixed as soon as possible. But welcome back to the Holler Podcast, Season 4, Episode number 9. I'm your host, Stephen Borbell, and joined by my two co-hosts, Carl Pooler and Richard Wolsifer. How are you doing tonight, gentlemen?
Oh, okay. I'm doing good. Another long road day at work, but doing pretty good. Been fighting a sinus infection for like the past week, so hopefully that is gone before vacation next week. But today's been good.
Yeah, Richard was fighting a sinus infection and losing, so let's all keep that in mind.
It's not the first time he's lost.
It is kicking
He
my
just
butt.
beats
And
himself.
yes, I do.
Right.
I do beat myself.
Whoa!
Pause?
Oh, goodness gracious.
We've got a lot of pause moments today.
I think there was a lot of people beating themselves this past week.
Oh, man.
Yes. It was a very, very long week. Tuesday's race was rough, to say the least.
Yeah,
In more ways than one. I mean, the track was ridiculously bumpy.
and it's so weird. I feel like we haven't had as many problems there in the past as we did recently, and I don't know if it's the change of the car. It's weird from my perspective, just because I haven't been in the car for whatever it is now, 8 weeks, and I get in the car, and obviously it feels terrible because I haven't done anything. Rev, thank you for letting me know. I will get rid of that.
Uh-oh. What do we...
And they can hear his fan in the background. I can't hear it, which is crazy, but Steven is getting that fixed. Dude, I don't know. And really, we've had good races there. I think this was like the third, maybe the second time, but we've raced there a decent amount of times in the past. And even during the practice, the practice races, even after the race, people were saying it just felt off. It used to be such a great track. You could do a lot of racing, but this past thing, I don't know, whatever they did with the car, it was just terrible. It wasn't as fun. You couldn't do the racing, and the car was even more on edge than usual. It was really, really tough to drive.
Yeah, it was a very tough to drive track last night. I mean, I even think it's always been tough every time we go there. I mean, it's a street course. It's always going to be bumpy, but I think with the recent update in the setups that they decided to implement on the cars since that last update, they've been a lot more squishy on the suspension. And I mean, even on the ovals, the one thing we noticed was when you go into the turn, you see more body roll than we have before. The cars weren't as stiff. So I think with that, it just over-exaggerated how bumpy that track was because the car just wasn't stable. I mean, still had a lot of drivers still do phenomenal and handle that car extremely well, even at fast speeds, like Jared being able to take home the win. But we saw a lot of situations where drivers, overdriving the car, just the bumps. And even so, even me, I was even complaining sometimes where the bumps just felt random at times with the acceleration. You go to accelerate and it's literally a millisecond difference between the spot on the track. And you hit it once, get on the gas, the car wants to go. You do it the next turn, the car's like, nope, let's just go for a 360. It was hard to balance at times.
It was very difficult, and not even just the acceleration, but the braking too. If you were just a hair off your braking zone, it was playing Russian roulette kind of with the brakes. It felt like I'd put the exact same pressure, the exact same everything, but if it was just a foot earlier or a foot later, it would change the corner drastically. So I don't even really want to talk a lot about this race, just because it was one of my most embarrassing nights.
Laps.
I didn't even last 2 laps.
Oh, you lasted 1 lap in 4 turns.
I did, yeah. I did 1 full lap, and then in turn 4, I killed myself and Coulter. So, I mean, I apologize to Coulter. I felt terrible for again, like I barely missed my normal braking zone. I was just trying to match Gray in front of me. I was like, you know what? I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable, and I can at least push it a little bit harder and start getting that lap time. But no, I could not, and it just locked up and slid into the barrier. Coulter ran straight into me and flipped me. I think that's the first time I've seen a flip without netcode at Chicago Street Course. So, yeah, definitely one of my most embarrassing times. I'm ready for Talladega next week to actually have some fun. But big shout out to Jared. It was awesome seeing him finally get a win. What was it, a 49 race winless streak or something like that?
49 race drought for Jared. I think the last one he had was back in season 1. Or was it season 2?
It was season 2. It was race 2, season 2.
Yeah, race 2, season 2, won at Richmond, and he hasn't won yet. He's always been pretty much up there. This season, not so much, just because he's been very unlucky. And I mean, seriously, Jared has been severely unlucky at a lot of points. So for him to finally have, I mean, he only really made one mistake, and that was, I think, pushing Brandvold into turn 1 on the restart for stage 2. And that's what gave him his nose damage. But after that, he was like on it. Once he got around Brandvold, after Brandvold got damaged, he went to pass Brendan in the same straightaway. Brendan kind of, I think, was trying to press Brandvold at the same time, and Jared shipped it 3 wide in turn 12, which was impressive to watch on the broadcast, by the way. And at that point, he just never gave the lead back up. He did a fantastic job controlling his race, controlling his pace, and being able to just take it home.
Jared's always been one of those top-end road course guys, in my opinion. I mean, the only unfortunate thing for him a lot of the times is one of 2 people are in that race, Gavin Rogers or Mason Houseman, and we both, or all of us, know how great both of them are. So it was really Jared's time to shine with the road course without either of them 2 in it. And I mean, I feel like consistently he's finished 3rd or 4th at every other road course that they've been a part of. And it was just his time. I know Adam would have had something to say about it. I would have loved to see the 2 of them race it out if Adam was able to be there on Tuesday. But well, all things considered, Ronnie gave him a good battle there too at the end. Really impressed me with his speed, but got it done for Next Level Motorsports, so we won't go winless this season.
Yeah, Ronnie was chasing him down pretty well, but I think at one point Ronnie just lost his rear tires, and then he just kind of was trying to hold on at that point, which was unfortunate. But he definitely was giving Jared a good run, watching from, the outside, because I stayed and watched the whole race even from the pits, and watching those 2 fight it out. Like Jared was really fast from like turns 1 to 6, and then 7 to 12 was where Ronnie would catch him, but could never get to him to be able to make the pass. So it was really fun to watch that kind of slinky of space throughout the entire track between those 2.
And I think you mentioned him earlier, Richard, but Zachary Brandvold, I think, is someone else that obviously deserves a big shout out for how he ran. He actually had the fastest lap of the race, and if it came down to just him and Jared, and like I said, if you throw Adam in there too, it would have been a really interesting race. But it is very difficult to pass if someone does not give you the opportunity to pass without shoving them out of the way here. And I think that's only amplified more by the next-gen car. But I don't know. I'm glad that this is in the rearview mirror, metaphorically, physically, everything.
Net code on the podcast? What happened?
I don't know what happened. Everything looks to be fine, but we're going good.
Zach B is the Bowman of our league.
I mean, I'd say he's better than that, but
Carl, how did your race go?
Not
like where did you mess
Richard? So honestly, I'm gonna kind of build off of what Steven said. I had major issues under the braking zones, and I went and watched it lap 4, going into what was it? It was going into turn 6, turn 7. That left-hander before the fountain, before you go right around the fountain.
Yes, that's
I like Steven said, I literally missed my braking point by 3-4 inches maybe, and I just could not get it slowed down in time. And I hit the barrier, and I didn't think I hit it that bad. I mean, I missed it, but I was on the brakes, but the brakes didn't lock up, so I had good control over it, and it just kept going, and I feel like it just popped, but when I went in, I was 7 minutes of damage.
That's great.
But I've had issues with this damage model since the update, and I've just not come out on the lucky end a lot of the times. I think the one time I did was Rockingham. I think that's the only time I've gotten lucky, but it's been rough with the damage model. But I don't know what they did, but under braking, it was either because if I went too low on the brake bias, I would get really loose on corner entry. But if I went too high, I would start locking up the fronts and lose all turn in. So I was trying to balance that and the bumps and everything, and I couldn't make it happen. All I wanted to do was survive, and I couldn't do that. It was a tough race, but everyone had a tough race. A lot of our front runners had unfortunate events. Dustin Stallings, Brendan Maddox, they both had issues. Johnny Wood Jr. had issues, still ended up finishing the top 10. We only had 5 cars on the lead lap.
Jeez.
Johnny didn't have issues. Johnny actually was fine. Zachary Maddox missed his braking zone and shoved Johnny Wood into turn 6, which is what gave Johnny his damage. Johnny was having a very calm race. He was just kind of chilling, just like, I'm just going to drive and make sure I finish around this spot. He wasn't trying to overly race. So, but yeah, Zachary Maddox overshot or just missed his braking zone and just drove into the back of Johnny Wood, which is why how he got his damage.
Zachary Maddox with the top 7, by the way. And we have to mention Dakota Bleh with the top 10, finishing 9th.
Right.
I mean, was 3 laps down, but it's a top 10.
Hey, it don't matter. It don't matter. Everybody else messed up enough to where he could have just drove out and had a Sunday cruise, and that's exactly what he did and got a top 10. So good work on him.
I mean, I can't talk anything. I mean, wrecking lap 2 kind of absolves me from making any statements about anyone in this race because it's hard. It was very, very difficult. But you mentioned Dustin. Thankfully for him, he got great stage points, which really saved him in the standings aspect in the chase. That is, he ended up with 45 total points, which was the 5th most out of all drivers in the race. For as bad of a night, I guess, as he had, finishing 13 laps down, it was not catastrophic for the rest of his chase. I don't have it put it on the screen, but we'll go over it real quick, and then we'll come back to get meatballs and stuff like that. But since we're on the topic on the standings portion, Dustin Stallings, 27-point lead over your new second-place driver, who's Ronnie Osmer. Zachary Brandvold, with his strong run, moves up to 3rd, 39 back. Brendan Maddox, 4th, 41 back. Johnny Wood Jr., 5th at 58 back. Christian Barnes at 64 back. Jared Hughes, 65. Gray Walker, 66 back. Kyle Heath in 9th at 81 back. Sam Dyer, now in the top 10 of points. Everyone said it was a fluke him getting in, but he's top 10 in points now. So just call it whatever you want, but he's 86 back. Richard, yourself in 11th at 96 back, and Dakota Camper 12th at 111 back. Surprises for you guys?
I mean, I'm not being mean, but Sam Dyer in the top 10. He doesn't go after stage points. He literally runs his race, and with how drivers drive in this league, he's in top 10 in the stage, or in the chase. Jeez, he's not in the stages, but he's in the chase, and that's the whole point. And I think that right there is not only the persistence of Sam staying out there and keeping his nose to the grindstone, but also like we don't need to run so hard to get a decent finish. You have this guy, doesn't have any bonus points, and he's in the chase and in the top 10. I think some of our drivers can maybe take a note or two from Sam and just be like, sometimes it's better to give than to take at some moments in the race.
Oh yeah, 100%. Sam's done pretty good, just kind of chilling out. He waits to the end of the race to actually race and try to get positions, and he just makes his way through all the wrecks that do sadly happen. I do think we have incredibly way too many wrecks in this league. which I'm hoping, that does clear up with the ARCA car coming in season 5. A little bit easier car to drive to an extent. But he does. He's just patient. He just waits. He doesn't really race hard for the first 2 stages, and he's always there. I mean, what's helped him get in the top 10 right now in the chase is Dakota Camper was suspended for Chicago Street Course. I got disqualified at Nashville, and then I had a DNF at Chicago. So, I mean, that's helped him get up there as well. So, no, it's good work by him. I think shocking. Yeah, I know it's going to be funny, but I think shocking is me being as low as I am, just because I was not expecting to get a DQ at Nashville. I had a lot of speed there. I was actually super comfortable at Chicago. I had okay pace. With all the wrecks and whatnot, I could have easily had a top 5, if not more. But lap 10, Rev even said it looked weird because I was on the brakes, but the car just wasn't stopping. I didn't even lock the tires up. Like, if you watch, my tires didn't lock up or anything. I missed my braking spot literally by just a little bit.
Yep.
That's all it was. And I was still expecting the car to slow down a little bit because I was even downshifting to get it to slow down, and it just wasn't. Like, Rev was confused. I was confused how much speed I still had even on the brakes, even just missing it just by that much. And I'm just impressed I kept it off Gray Walker because it was funny. I self-sabotaged myself because I queued up over the radio and said round 2 Gray, and then right after I clicked off the radio, that's when I missed my braking zone. So I self-sabotaged myself. Because Gray and I were having a great battle for that 9th position, and I just, I shouldn't have said anything. I should have waited to the front stretch or just passed him. But no, it was really strange. I don't know, besides just hitting my braking zone on point or earlier, but I wasn't expecting that much speed to be carried even when my tires were not locked up. Like, I was on 50% brakes still, no tires were locked up, and the car just didn't want to slow down. It was disappointing. And then the engine blew up on the initial contact. It was smoking, so I was able to get back to pit road, but luckily, he did run into me, but I guess on his screen I was in the air, so I don't know what that means because nowhere else was I in the air. But he just barely hit me, and he didn't really do any more damage than he already had. So I'm glad I didn't ruin his race. But yeah, I made it 11 laps. Cool beans.
All combined, I think we made it 15 or 16 laps together or something like that. Like, all 3 of us combined made it almost a third of the race. So we have something to hang our hat on there.
No, we'd be in the 20s. Carl made it a little further than me.
I have Carl completing 4 laps.
Oh, yeah. Were you out at lap 4? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you made it a little further than me.
But it was the same exact thing where I just missed it enough, and I didn't put too much into it, but it wasn't locking up or anything, just not slowing down. I think what is the most disappointing, though, is I actually qualified 10th. I had a decent qualifying pace, and I was really surprised and impressed with myself, and I go and ruin it on lap 4. I think that hurt the worst out of everything.
Well, only one way to make it up next week at Talladega. Go win the race.
Dude, don't get me started on Dega. Dega is probably my best super speedway track. I have the most podiums there. I have the highest average finish there out of the super speedways. I am pumped for Talladega.
As team owner, please knock on some wood right now.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're really testing something.
But overall, even the 11 laps I was on track, I still love Streets of Chicago. I know we had some colorful comments about, I'm glad the admins are happy about this track pick, which, yeah, honestly, I am. I love Streets of Chicago. I think it's a fun track. It tests people. It's technical. It's tough. And it gives little room for error. It makes people think before they do stuff.
Yeah, I have no regrets choosing it at all.
Oh no. I want to keep going back there because it is because they're not going back there this year, or I should say 2026 in real life. So we don't know what's going to happen in the future for this track. So at the very least, it is conserved in iRacing, which is amazing. I love the service for it.
I will say just IRL a little bit. They're taking a break this year just to kind of reevaluate what they can do different to make it a better experience. I do believe the intent is to do another Chicago street course down the road.
I'd be surprised if they go back honestly, now with hopefully how they can see Chicagoland. Maybe they get an uptick there and they can just stay there and they can just bring the street courses elsewhere. Who knows? That's all hypothetical. Unfortunately, none of us work for NASCAR, and none of that information was released in today's text messages that were released from.
Let's not get into that.
Oh yeah, no.
We already had that discussion in the Discord.
That is.
I will say that is wild that it got that violent. Basically.
I love it. I love it. It's only going to get worse. But
oh yeah.
Going back to our standings, I think I have two. I don't want to say necessarily surprises, but I guess they're things that stand out to me more than others. One being Zachary Brandvold in third place in points. Not that I don't think he should be there. I think he's always been slept on in a way, of some guy that maybe not be the most flashy on the track, but consistently is running better than most people I think would think him. He is definitely underrated and undervalued. And it's good to see him actually where I think he should be, points-wise. And then the other being Johnny Wood Jr. in fifth. I know fifth isn't considered bad by any means, but Johnny's had a really rough 2 races to start the chase as well. And now being 58 points back with only 3 races to go, I mean, there's only so much you can really make up. I think 20 points a race is a very tall task to do, especially when you're chasing someone like Dustin, who's been so consistent of even if he's not getting the finishes, he's getting good stage points to make up for it. Talladega is the one unknown, I think, and that's why I like having it here in the 3rd spot of our chase, just because it is, it's your last wild card before you get into some pretty standard tracks. And within these last 3 races, I bet you after Talladega, our car count as well is going to be dropped to around what we saw at Chicago. So that it also limits your ability to gain extra points, which is unfortunate, but you really just got to make them up while you can. You have to have a really good start to the chase. As we've seen, it's very important, and it's hard to dig yourself out of that hole. And we saw that with a couple of drivers in the regular season, too. It's hard to start really bad in the regular season and then crawl your way back out of it, Carl. But, I mean, no matter how good you do in those last 3 races, it didn't really matter because your first 7 races were as bad as they could have been. But, yeah, any predictions? I guess at this point it's a little bit handicapped with only 3 races left. Who do you see winning it? Has it changed from your original thought?
It's especially at Talladega. We've been running this whole season. I think for the most part, a lot of the drivers we see week in and week out, we've been racing for 3 or 4 seasons now. So it's getting more. It's getting easier to kind of predict what the driver next to you is going to do, but it's also easier to carry more confidence in having that knowledge. And then you also have to think your competitor's thinking possibly the same thing. Hey, this guy does this at the super speedways. You want to get teams together. You want to get everyone together to go forward. And there's going to be so many different strategies and who stays up front. Of course, the playoff drivers are going to want to get up there. But, who wants to play the spoiler? I know I do. So I'm kind of thinking, do I want to just float in the back? Do I want to be a teammate with Sam for a minute and then wait until the last, however many laps to come through and make a push on the checker flag? Talladega is such a wild card. Like you said, Steven, it's awesome to have it on like the exact middle of the chase. You never know who can come in here and sweep, stage points. The big one can happen early. That is a ton of points. You mentioned 20 points a race is a tall task, but really at Talladega, depending on how it goes, you can gain or lose 40 points in the swing of things, especially with the stage breaks and everything else. So this is a true wild card. We can see a completely different chase standings at the end of Talladega.
Definitely. I think it's the last real Hail Mary for a lot of the drivers that are in the chase. I mean, if you're more than 60 points back at this point, you're going to need a tremendous day at Talladega to put you within spitting distance of the leader to have any chance. Our last 2 races are Auto Club in Vegas, is that right?
Auto Club in Vegas.
Okay, I'm getting confused with next season's schedule and this season's schedule. I got a lot of things in my mind of what's when. But
Oh man, I can't wait to launch the season 5 schedule.
yeah, it's coming soon. We have I guess you can say, a quote unquote special podcast scheduled for September 11th. Unironically, September 11th, but I mean, that's just the date it falls onto.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's a Thursday, and that's because it's what Talladega. Yeah, that is
Definitely not childhood trauma
that's
by any means.
that's the Thursday before our finale at Vegas. We're gonna have Dakota Bleh and potentially Cody Dorsey on the show with us, releasing.
We're gonna have a party.
Yeah, potentially. I know some things are still to be decided on there, but that is the plan for some schedule release information. I know the Contender Series actually released their schedule to their drivers already today in the Discord. They talked with us about it beforehand, and we gave them the okay to send it on through, just because there's no necessarily spoilers in their schedule and our schedule. It's completely different. But
We're starting their season at Bristol, right?
I don't remember where their season starts, if I'm being honest.
I was talking about us.
Oh, yeah. I think I've made it very obvious, and I think everyone knows where we're starting the season, because I am very dead set on starting the season every season at Daytona. So I think that is the one you can always guarantee is going to be there. I guess that, and you can always guarantee Bristol will be on the schedule. As long as I am in charge of the schedule, it is not coming off the schedule.
We should start the season at Daytona Road Course.
All right, you're fired.
Yeah, you're definitely fired for that one.
Hey, you said you need to start at Daytona. That starts at Daytona. You didn't specify.
King is correct. They are starting at Indy on October 16th. And
Oh wow.
King said, and Talladega, the third race of the chase. I mean, I think that's been very consistent. I don't know if that's. It might be different next season, but it had been the same. To be fair, technically our schedule is not set in stone because it's not released yet. We did make one minor change to it last week. I mean, it was a relatively minor change, but I think it's for the better. Yeah. I mean, just with data or information coming about certain tracks being redone and whatnot, we have the right to make any changes we want until we release it, because then once we release it, we can't really change much. So it's unofficially Daytona to start the season.
Yes.
Road Course.
Shut up, Carl.
At night. In GT3s.
Yes. Oh my God, I'm in.
You can't see in the infield.
I will do it. I will find a way. I'll make it work. I had muscle memory. Come on, practice.
Yeah, good luck trying to get everyone to practice.
Hey, that's their problem, not mine.
I'll tell everyone that there's only one track that we're going to next season that we haven't been to before. Every other track is one we've been to before. And when we were last there can range all the way back from... Oh, you are right. There are two tracks we haven't been to before in BRB.
Pretty sure we haven't been to the one that we swapped into.
You are correct. That was a different league. Wow. All right. Yeah. There you go. Two. And it's still TBD. Who knows? We might have other changes. I know there was a discussion about one of the races that are in the chase to be switched to a different track. A similar track, but a different track. And I think that still has some conversation to be had. But
I don't think so. I think the vote was pretty much already done.
yeah, it's done. It's all but done.
I mean, I wouldn't mind going to it. Trust me, I wouldn't mind. But because of other choices in the season, we couldn't replace what we had.
No, what we have
Still be
is
fun.
it's a staple.
I would.
A lot of
I agree.
drivers really enjoyed the track we're going to, I think. I mean, I don't know. It's a NASCAR.
How about this, Carl? I am pretty sure that we can almost say for 100% without a doubt in season 7 we will go to or season 6 we will go to that track.
I wouldn't guarantee it.
I would.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because who knows what could happen between here and there. There's so many things. You never know.
I would
It's
love to
fluid.
do
All right.
another international road course because we have so many more that we need to go to. Basically, I think Red
Yeah.
Bull Ring was a great success overall. I think a lot of drivers really loved it. And I don't know a lot of international road courses. Y'all do more so. So I would.
Barcelona.
Barcelona would be a good one.
So.
Oh, but what about Zandvoort?
I don't even know any of these. But I know 2 international road courses, and that's Mexico City and Canadian Tire.
Hungaroring.
In Nürburgring.
I'm not gonna lie. Brandvold, I have done the stock cars. I don't know if it was Gen 6 or the next gen, but I have done them at Monza, and they are a blast.
What about Laguna Seca? I know that's not international.
Dude, I've been pushing that for 2 seasons now. And everyone shoots me down.
I'm gonna tell you now that Corkscrew is gonna take out a lot of drivers.
Bring it
for
on.
sure,
Let's
but
go.
it'd be really interesting.
Let's go. Okay, how many drivers did Chicago Street Course take out?
Over half the field.
Yeah.
At least in the corkscrew, there's not a concrete barrier right next to it. I mean, there's at least some
but they
runoff.
can launch it over the hill.
Well, I really
They
think
get
that corkscrew
damaged.
in the next gen would be impossible. I think in the Arco with a little bit more flex, it's possible. Still not probably
What?
great.
To launch yourself off the hill.
No, to actually take the corner.
Oh.
But
Laguna Seca would be kind of fun. I do like Laguna Seca.
I love it as a track. That's the only one, if I see it for like the Mazdas or the MX-5 Cup, like that's the only track I will run just because it's a good one. But
It's
Laguna
so
Seca
fun.
would feed families.
Yes, Cameron, I am 100% behind that statement. It would be amazing. And I seriously have, for 2 seasons, have put it up there for our road course, and I've been shot down. So, guys, it depends on you to get Laguna Seca as a road course on the schedule in future seasons.
And to be fair, like if there is a track that everyone really wants, please feel free to let us know in the Discord or in chat. Just because, again, it's not set in stone. I'm willing to move things around.
Hey, Jared, that's how you spell the band almost. Okay?
Hey,
You're
Jared knows how to
combining a
drive
band and a
trucks, okay?
track.
I was about to say, isn't that Dakota Bled?
Yeah, that's Dakota Bled's friends band.
Oh,
Okay?
man. Zach King. Sebring
It's not happening.
in a stock car. No, wait,
That'd be
hold on.
Terrifying, dude. It's
I
already
would have
terrifying
said
in a
that.
GTP.
I would have said that. But with how bumpy Chicago Street was, maybe, and again, this goes what Steven said about the corkscrew. There's no walls right next to it. With how bad that was, honestly, Sebring isn't a bad option.
I'd rather do, Legacy Texas Roval.
Jesus.
Oh, anywho's, we've digressed. Pretty
Yeah,
bad.
we have digressed a little bit. I do want to share some, I guess, potential information or something in the works. A lot of information to be figured out still on it, but we're wanting to do an exhibition race potentially at the beginning of to launch season 5 and season 1 of the Contender Series. The idea has been tossed around in the admin chat of a multi-class race, that being ARCA and next-gen cars at an undetermined track. So as we figure out those details, please feel free to express your feelings and your opinions about it. Because I think that would be a perfect, that's kind of like our Bowman Gray in a way for a whole league. We get both series together, we do a fun race to launch the seasons, and then we go into it. I just think that would be a lot of fun.
iRacing Super Speedway.
No, we already did that for the
Yeah.
All-Star. Like,
Wait. Now hear me out. You have the drafts so you can keep in line, but at the same time, handling has to matter. So that in each end of the track, each car has an advantage. I feel.
I'm curious of how they would do on a super speedway together.
I think the super speedway together would be very interesting.
See,
The closing rates alone would be interesting. I would hope that they can stay with each other is my concern, I think. I would assume they can. I don't know.
I mean, it's a multi-class race. They're not supposed to stay together.
I know, but you want them to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Figuring out details of some, I want to say some meme tracks were thrown around and potential ideas, but I don't know. At the end of the day, it'd be really fun, and it would probably be a very full lobby with 40 plus cars potentially. So we'd have to.
That would be a
all
blast,
that out.
though.
We should do a fun race in the off season called King of the Ring, and we just do that. You know that big circular centennial.
Oh heck no! And
track
just
on-
demolition derby.
Listen, do a demolition derby, just for
God.
Zach King, so he can wreck people.
No,
Oh, God.
because then that breeds a culture of him being able to wreck people whenever he wants.
No, it would just be this once moment.
No.
Okay, Gavin is onto something here. A 2.4-hour enduro at Daytona Road Course multi-class.
Or I think
stock
that would be
cars.
pretty cool. Like, I mean, you
That
like
would be
enter as a
fun.
team and you can, or like, yeah.
Well, actually, that's not a terrible idea, Steven, because if it does get a lot of traction, if we're looking at 40 plus cars, what if we condense that into teams where we're going to have 25 plus cars with team drivers and we, 2 to 3 drivers a team?
I mean, on paper, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, on paper.
I think trying to, just because I know soon we'll be having some of the people from the Contender Series come over to our Discord. So that'll be a very hectic time whenever that happens. And trying to organize that mass of new people coming in and trying to get them up to speed with everything might be a little difficult. Something like that with like an organized team endurance race might have to wait for maybe even during the regular season on like a weekend, like a Saturday night. Like we could even do like a 12-hour enduro of people that wanted to do it.
Oh
with
my
our,
God.
we could do whatever we want with a larger amount of people. Like with one series, it kind of limits us to, we only have 20 to 30 guys that are really available / here most of the time. So like there's only so much you can do with that. Now if you open it up to potentially a pool of 60 plus guys and girls, I mean, I don't know, but individuals, like now it opens up team racing and potentially endurance racing, and it's so many more options of what we can do, and we can mash both series together. Like this is what we wanted when we got with Dakota and Cody to have another series and grow, our whole community. So I do think an enduro race of some sort would be very popular amongst people, even if it is an ARCA and a next gen car, because I think we have to stay true with our series identities.
Yeah, 100%. You know what I'm excited also about Dakota and Cody's league coming over to our Discord is we're gonna eventually turn into just a BF6 Discord with racing on the side.
No.
So excited.
gosh.
Oh my God.
Carl agrees.
I am so excited for BF6, dude. Like if I'm
back
not,
to iRacing.
if I'm not on the sim, I'll probably be on BF6. Not gonna lie, all winter I'll be a freaking BF6 hermit.
Yeah, the multi-class racing between the next gens and the ARCA cars is going to be, that would be an interesting race regardless where we go. I do think it would be very interesting to watch it on a super speedway because I would love to see the speed difference between the two groups and to see how the faster group maneuvers around that slower group when everybody's more than likely going to be too wide. So we'd probably have to do it in Talladega where you could actually fit 4 wide comfortably.
Actually,
I just realized I was in
make a
a
little more sense.
fantasy football draft and I missed the start.
Ouch.
That hurts.
Unfortunate. That does hurt.
Hurts a lot.
How many rounds have you missed already?
We are halfway through round 4, so I've missed 4 of my picks.
Oh my god!
And this is my paid league. This is not great.
Oh, that's not good at all.
What can you do about it?
Suck it up and hope for the best.
Yep.
Godspeed, my friend.
That's what I get for talking mess.
I mean, really, with as many injuries that happened though throughout the season, the whole roster is going to be screwed up in the first 4 weeks. So don't lose hope.
This auto draft is so messed up already. I mean, tell me why I picked a tight end in the 3rd round. I don't know.
That's a bold choice.
And
That
it
is a
was
bold
not a
choice.
personal choice. It was, that's what it thought I
Goodness
needed. Goodness gracious. I'm so mad. All right. Sorry, let me lock in here. Where were we?
Talladega, and oh no, we went to multi-class racing.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
everything else.
us admin, we have a lot of things that are probably more important to figure out before then, but we would like to do something like that in the future. So, just letting everyone know, in a potential exhibition race before the season begins. We didn't get to it, but meatball of the week from Chicago.
Ooh, Stephen Borbell for going airborne. The first car I think I've ever seen airborne during a race.
Very fair.
Unintentionally.
Unintentionally, even. Yes, exactly.
I'm
have to go
gonna
myself,
have
too.
to go.
Sorry.
Okay.
Make it quick and easy.
I would pick myself, but I'm gonna have to go with Brandvold because honestly, I think he had it pretty much locked up for a win. He was super fast. He was able to gap even Dustin Stallings during that first stage, and then he just missed his braking zone going into turn 6. Just ran straight into that tire barrier. He tried going an extra lap to see how the car felt, but eventually he did come to the pits and just repair the damage. But even doing that, Zachary Brandvold, he caused Dustin Stallings to spin out, who was his competition, and he lost a lot of spots. Then Dustin was driving, lack of a better way to say it, I guess. I would say angry, but Dustin, I wouldn't necessarily say that. He was just trying to overcompensate for the spin, and then he overdrove his car a few times as well. So I'm going to have to go with Zachary Brandvold. Unfortunate. He could have definitely had his first win in the BRB Racing League, and it would have been awesome to see. I think that would have been like highly celebrated throughout the Discord. And then just basically the same thing I did. I think just not as crazy. Just overshot that braking zone just ever so slightly and got into that tire barrier.
Well, and don't forget, Spirit and Maverick are kind of alliances, so that's a little more salt in the wound.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Steven with 2 picks, and then myself with Brandvold. I know, Zach. It's a sad face. I get it, man. It's unfortunate. Trust me, I would have picked myself, but like, the only reason you were picked over me, like, for myself, was because you were leading. That's the only reason.
What was I gonna say? Talladega.
What were you gonna say?
This week we go to Talladega for the. I know it's the suicide prevention race.
200.
The Check 22.
I don't remember what the
I don't have a way to
sponsor
pull it
was.
up right now because it'll mess up my cameras. But yes, we're going to Talladega this weekend. I pulled up stats. Carl got me thinking of all-time super speedway stats in the league. So I pulled up all-time super speedway stats in the league. Any guess on the best average finish for a driver that has more than 3 races?
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Any guess? Carl, I see you looking right now. That's not a guess. Any guess for the driver?
I'm not guessing. I'm being quiet. I'm being quiet right now.
For the driver with the best average finish at super speedways with more than 3 starts.
Oh man. Jared Hughes. I don't know.
No, it is your teammate Johnny Wood Jr. With an average finish of 6.8. He has failed to get that win at a super speedway. And this is the time where I boast on myself, and I lead the league in super speedway wins with 2.
Okay, Johnny Shea Jr.
Yeah, I'd probably also end in DNFs.
Steven, I will say I'm very sad to see you not in the running anymore for most consecutive starts of every race.
It's what it is. I mean,
I know.
it was going to end eventually. Like, might as well end, like...
Trying to make the
with
league better.
some pride. Yeah, like, it wasn't a silly reason that I was sick or,
like Carl getting suspended.
Yeah, or that.
Hey, you know what? It was very cleansing mentally, all right? So I'm looking at the silver lining of things.
Sure
but it's still between Jared Hughes and Evan Patinko. And it's the banter between those two of, hey, just sit out a race. Someone wants to be that number 1 driver, and it's just a matter of who and when.
But who's going to win Talladega?
Who will win Dega? It's a very difficult question to answer.
Evan Patinko. So I'm looking at super speedway starts. There are 5 of us that have started all 7 super speedways for the BRB Buckinger Cup Series. Steven, Richard, myself, Evan, and Jared. Evan has some bad luck, but he has started every single one. He has 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s, and that first win is still eluding him. Evan Patinko is looking for that win. I think he's hungry to be an upset, being in the chase. So Evan Patinko is my check, my pick.
My check.
What is this? All-time lap leaders. Oh, okay. Carl Pooler is 3rd with all-time laps led at a super speedway.
Who's he behind?
Steven 1st and Gavin 2nd.
My numbers are way different.
Wait, this is only season 1 Daytona and season 1 Atlanta, I think?
I was going to say, I have Richard as the 3rd most laps led at super speedways.
What?
Yes. Carl, I don't... was that 7th?
I'm down there in 7th. But yeah, Richard, you've won 49. Stephen Borbell has led 214 laps at super speedways. The next person is Adam Buzzio with 52 laps. So Steven knows how to get up there. He knows how to, he has 2 poles, 2 wins at super speedways. I mean, Steven is kind of the
I'm the Austin Hill.
You really are, of just getting to the front and staying up there. But the problem is your 2 wins, your 2 poles. You also only have 2 top 5s, which means those are your wins, and only 4 top 10s out of 7 races.
I win or I wreck.
You also, well, that's exactly it. It's checkers and records. I have the most incident points at Super Speedway with 79. I don't know how that happened at all.
Oh, Carl.
I'm just clicking on stats here, and that popped up. So I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Not.
Oh, man. Well, Steven, I have to go with, I think for my pick for Talladega, I'm going to have to go with the guy that flipped the car at Chicago is planning to flip the script at Dega. Doorbell will get it done at Dega.
All right.
That was a clever play on words. Richard, I am impressed.
Very well done. Dak Prescott real quick.
Oh, you're definitely going to freaking lose. Sorry, buddy.
We're fine. All right. And I am going with... someone.
Silence.
I'm going to go with... Zach Maddox as your winner at Talladega. I know typically, I would think with most teams, especially how Maverick works, because they're all going to be together as a team, I would think at the end of it. I would think
and Spirit,
they're going to try to have Dustin or Brendan win as opposed to Zach, and I think he would give it up. But in a way that doesn't happen, Zach wins it.
So hear me out. Is both of those drivers are really aggressive on pretty much anywhere they drive. They know they literally live by, if there's a gap, you got to go for it. They had incidents at Chicago. They're going to be looking to redeem themselves and maybe try to do a couple more things at Talladega. Whether or not that works out, we'll see, and that has yet to be played out. But if they were to be in the big one together for whatever reason, who knows what could happen to that Zachary Maddox. That's why freaking Talladega is a lovely choice for middle of the chase race.
I couldn't agree anymore. It's gonna be fun. Is all I can say. And you don't really need to practice to be good, so that makes it even more fun.
No, I disagree. You need to practice pushing. You need to practice how to be pushed. There is an art to it, Steven. Don't listen to him. He may have 1-2 of them, and okay, but don't listen to him. Just don't.
I mean, I feel like every time I go to a super speedway, everyone's like, "Oh wow, the aero package feels different and whatnot." It's all the freaking same. It's garbage,
No.
and you have to be right on the bumper, literally pushing somebody to go anywhere. So as long as you get up front, it's hard to get past. That's all you need to know.
We'll see. Steven's going to be in that first big one, and at the end of stage 1, we'll see.
King, you have won a super speedway, but you're not winning this race because you're not participating in this race.
Which is why you weren't even in the conversation.
Oh, man.
Well, I don't know where to go from there, guys.
I mean, we have no breaking news to release yet. We've gone over the past week, gone over the next week. I think we got it all. We're in the chase. We know where everyone's at. Talladega is Talladega. One person's going to be happy, and there's going to be a bunch of other people that aren't. So we'll see what happens. Exactly.
Goodness. Yeah, it's going to be good. Well, I guess we can wrap it up here.
You mean buckle it up?
There you go.
Buckle it up.
Buckle it up.
Buckle it up.
Or you'll die.
Thank you all for tuning in. I know the podcast has been a little bit sporadic, on and off. Hopefully we're going to be doing it the rest of this season, and then things will be changing up for next season with it. Big shout out to obviously all of our sponsors and supporters here at the Butt Kicker Cup Series. That being
Rip just joined he and then leave.
Yes, that being Butt Kicker, Sundance Pizza, Idealies, Ascendance Trucks, Rev Sim Shop, Advanced GG promo code WolfXLive10 for 10% off your order. Performance Food Group and Maddox Graphics, or MX Wraps, as the new name for the iRacing paint service they offer. Check them out if you want a paint. I think they're doing a special promotion for drivers that had paints for next gens going to ARCAs. So check out with them. But we will see y'all Tuesday at Talladega.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.